Yo, what's up, YouTube? I hope everybody has a happy new year. Keep it safe. Don't get yourself into trouble. Whatever you do should be something that you can look back on and, just reflect on the good time that you had. But if you know you can't look back on it or you don't want to because you're going to be embarrassed or ashamed or you want to sweep it under the table, hey, then don't do it. Anyways, I want to talk about one of the things that have been missed in terms of people's analysis of the clip that we all saw. Like I said before, a lot of people have seen this clip, and some of the people that I know in real life have even seen the clip, right? So it's, really everywhere. And one of the things that I want to highlight is the whole idea of lowering a standard versus changing a standard. It's very different. When one of the women on the panel said, every year she's dropping her height requirement, and she said she's lowering her standards. Think about it. How is that supposed to make the men feel? Just imagine if you had a well-to-do black man out there, and he said, my standard is that she looks like Vanessa Williams or Alicia Keys, okay? And every year that I get older, I'm lowering my requirement in terms of skin color. So, now I'm like, well, I'll date a girl that looks like, let's say, I don't know, Brandy. Now, if you are one of these Brandy girls out here, how is that supposed to make you feel? If I'm saying I'm lowering my standards, how is that supposed to make you feel? Right? You'd feel pretty bad. He's only looking at me because he's lowering his standards. Now, just imagine if I said, I'm changing my standard because what I had before is off. It's not about skin color. It's not about her looking a certain way. So therefore, the women who look more so like Brandy and less like Vanessa Williams, should be considered equally. Because it's not about simply how somebody looks. Now, if you are one of the Brandies in the world, how is that supposed to make you feel? Hopefully you would feel a little bit better. Because they have said that they're opening up what they're looking for and that quality comes in different shapes and sizes. This whole idea of lowering standards, it's one of those things that it insults the men that you're looking for. It's an insult. And a lot of women don't understand this. You can't tell somebody you're playing B, C, D, E, or F. How is that supposed to make you feel? When you're simply just coming back to reality. Her standards, right, are coming back to reality. You know why she was saying 6'5" and whatnot? Because she was looking for some sort of pro athlete. How many 6'5" white men do you see in professional America? Anytime you see a tall person, anytime you see anybody over 6'4" and 6'5" in real life, right? And that's, to me, that's like the cutoff for people who are tall. Like, oh, this person is extremely tall. Yeah, 6'1" to 6'3", a person's pretty tall, but when we're talking about 6'4" and above, right, we're talking about athletes, pretty much. I don't care what race you are. If I walk through Target or somewhere and I see somebody who's 6'5", I'm like, what sport do you play? I don't care what race you are. And typically a lot of them do play sports. So her standard was based off of her wanting an athlete. That's not the everyday man. But to say that she's lowering her standards for the everyday man, it's disrespectful. Really, it truly is disrespectful, and a lot of men aren't going to put up with that. Okay, these men who are also just as accomplished and who are working just as hard and have to go through a lot, just going through work and going through school and having to work twice as hard just to get the same amount of success. Mind you, not to get ahead, right? Who knows how much harder black people have to work to actually get ahead, but to get the same level of success that white people get or other people get, we have to work 3-4 times as hard. That's something that you don't want to hear. Right? Your relationship is supposed to re-energize you from all the BS that you have to get in the real world, right? It's like charging your cell phone battery. That's what your relationship is supposed to do for you. It shouldn't be a form of stress. Yeah, relationships take hard work and it will take some energy, but overall, it should be a labor of love. But you're coming into a relationship and your initial feelings is that, you're plan D or E or whatever, and she's lowered her standards. How's that supposed to make you feel? Think about it. You really take your time and think about it. Because on the flip side, if men said the same thing, hey, it's BS. Like I said before, I did my video on conditioning and what I used to like before. I have. So when I evaluate women, it's not about me lowering any sort of standard. It's about me changing my standard and understanding that I have to have a broader spectrum. And by doing so, I hope I don't offend anybody. I really don't. That's not my goal. Because I know a lot of women have been hurt because they've been judged against the bullshit standard. So never do I want to say, I want you now because I've lowered my standard. How's that supposed to make them feel? If their whole life they've been told that, if you don't fit into this mold, you're not the standard. But I want you now because I'm so older and I've lowered my standard so much that now I'm here with you. You're going to feel bad about yourself. And don't be fooled just because somebody's showing you some sort of attention. No, you shouldn't settle for that. To me, that's actually settling. But like I said before, I changed my standards. So hopefully the women who have historically been overlooked, and even personally in terms of their own life, because maybe they didn't fit, this Alicia Keys, Beyonce format that is promoted in the black community, that's accepted by both black men and women, maybe those women can feel comfortable. Maybe those women can possibly get past how they used to feel and get past the hurt. Because I have to be mindful of that. Every black chick that I meet, I swear we have this conversation about the whole dark skin, light skin thing, and I always make it clear that, in the past I used to like that. But I changed what I liked because I don't want to disrespect anybody. I don't want people to feel belittled. Backhanded compliments are very dangerous because a lot of the times the people who are delivering them don't know they're doing it. So I don't know if the chick on the video understood what she was trying to say, but it was low-key insulting. Unfortunately, black men have been taught to hide our emotions, but emotions don't go anywhere. We just can't wrap up our emotions and throw it away, so they're there. And oftentimes, the way black men and women interact, there's this assumption that black men aren't emotional, so the women can say whatever, and black men are just supposed to take it, and black men try to convince themselves that they have no emotions. So when it's bruised, they act like it's not bruised. But they are. And because of that, we take that out in other forms and other fashions. Her comments, 6'5" to 6'1" or whatever, is the exact reason to why a lot of brothers who make it become pricks and assholes. Because they know they're not stupid. They know that, hey, I'm not your first option. I'm going to make you pay for it. And you've told me you're settling. I don't condone it. I don't agree with it. But that's what's going to happen. And that's what you see happening. The women talked about how a lot of these men like to string them along and, because they know they have options. Yeah. But at the same time, if these men know that, hey, I'm not your first choice anyways, and you've said that you're lowering your standards, not changing but lowering, what do you think they're going to do? A, they're either not going to mess with you, hence the whole idea of men running off with other women, or B, they're going to be pricks. They're going to be players. There are men out here who are players because that's just who they're going to be, but they're man-made players. And her comments, this whole idea of lowering standards versus changing them, is the reason to why you have a lot of black men who do make it, who become pricks, who become jerks. So anyways, you guys take it easy. Sit back and reflect on your own life in terms of your standards and what you're looking for. And remember, you're not lowering your standards, you're changing them to accommodate for the fact that what you wanted before was probably unrealistic. And to say that you're lowering a standard is doing nothing more than offending the people that you really want to be with. Right? People have pride. There's nothing wrong with having pride. People have self-esteem. Right? You can't hurt that and expect them to want to be with you. So you guys take it easy. Tell me how you feel. Happy New Year. God bless.